Imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything you post, share, or comment on social media is controlled by the government. What if your favorite platforms were no longer free spaces for expression but tools for political control? Today, we're talking about the controversial idea of the Philippine government franchising social media, why it's happening, what it means, and why Filipinos should be concerned. Governments justify franchising social media by claiming they need to regulate misinformation, protect citizens, and ensure national security. But is that the real reason? In the Philippines, where citizens are highly vocal about political and social issues, some government officials see social media as a threat rather than a tool for democracy. When people criticize the government instead of addressing their concerns, some leaders attempt to control the narrative. Franchising social media isn't about protecting Filipinos, it's about controlling them. Let's break down the risks. Social media has become the modern public square in the Philippines. If the government controls it, they decide what you can and can't say. Criticizing officials, exposing corruption, or even sharing alternative news could become punishable. Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution guarantees freedom of speech, press, and expression. In the realm of social media, manipulation and censorship can become tools of control. When the government has the power to oversee and limit what is shared, the essence of free speech is compromised. A government-run platform can filter out content that doesn't support their agenda. Instead of seeing diverse perspectives, Filipinos could be fed propaganda and controlled narratives. The Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, also known as RA 10175, covers cyber libel. This legislation can be used both to protect against defamation and, well, to suppress dissent. Think about it. If the government controls social media, they can monitor your conversations, track your activity, and even punish those who go against their policies. Privacy? Gone. Digital freedom? Compromised. In the context of the Philippines, data privacy is a critical issue. As the government increases its control over digital platforms, the implications for personal freedom and security become even more significant. It's a complex landscape where the balance between security and freedom is constantly being negotiated. The Data Privacy Act of 2012, also known as RA 10173, ensures individuals' right to data protection and privacy. Government control of social media could pose risks to personal data security. The Philippines is a prime example of why social media freedom is crucial. With millions of Filipinos actively using social media, platforms like Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube and TikTok have become essential tools for political discourse and social activism. The silencing of critics and the suppression of dissenting voices are serious concerns. International human rights organizations emphasize that freedom of speech and access to information are fundamental rights that must be protected even in the digital age. The Philippine government's increasing interest in controlling social media could be less about protecting users and more about silencing critics. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 19, states that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression, applicable to digital spaces. So, what can Filipinos do? They can stay informed, support independent media, and advocate for digital rights. It's crucial to engage in constructive dialogue and hold the government accountable. Now the question is, how do we protect our digital freedom? Here are a few steps Filipinos can take. Speak up. Oppose digital censorship and demand transparency in Philippine social media regulations. Use alternative platforms. If mainstream platforms become controlled, move to independent and decentralized networks. Push for digital rights protection support policies that protect free speech online in the Philippines. Stay informed. Awareness is power. The more we know, the harder it is for governments to manipulate us. In conclusion, taking these steps can help safeguard our digital freedom. It's up to each of us to stay vigilant and proactive. Let's work together to ensure a free and open internet for all Filipinos. A free and open internet is the backbone of modern democracy. The Philippine government should regulate social media responsibly, but they should never own or franchise it, because when they do, we lose our voices. The fight for digital freedom in the Philippines is now. Let's stand together and make sure social media remains a space for the people, not just for those in power. This video is for informational purposes only and does not provide legal advice. The views expressed are based on publicly available laws and rights protected under the Philippine Constitution and international human rights agreements. If you believe in internet freedom in the Philippines, share this video and let's spread awareness. Comment below. Should the Philippine government control social media?